Hey, hey, everybody. Hello, hello. Happy Sunday, y'all. Suzanne, so happy to see you. You are always so punctual. I love it. you're, you're more punctual than I am, I have to say. But I appreciate you always being here, Suzanne. Thank you. And I see Lord's just joined. Hello, ladies. Suzanne, thank you for letting me know you can see and hear me. You are my official checker, so because you always are right on top of that, so I appreciate that. Hey, Debbie. So my craft room is a little bit of a mess. I don't know if you can see behind me. Hey, Cordelia. Everybody just starting to join. Just talking about my makeover for my craft room. Hopefully you can see in the back room, or the background, I should say, the color. So this is the color I was telling you about. This is called Postal Blue, and it's a very soothing color. It's not a bright blue. It's more of a chalky blue, and it's kind of a little bit darker than Stormy Sky. If you guys know the Distress Ink Stormy Sky, it kind of mimics that. Um, so my husband's been really good about painting. He knew I had a live today, so he worked Friday afternoon and Saturday after when did he work? Friday, Saturday, and then finished up this morning. And there's still some touch work he needs to do, but he knew that I was going to do my live, so he made sure that I had my afternoon. Hey, Robin. So the craft room was a little bit in disarray. I had a hard time figuring out what I was going to do because everything is all over the place again. I feel like I moved again. But I do have something fun for you today, kind of to go along with our theme, right, that we talked about. Our theme for the next couple of weeks, yellow, yellow and flowers, I think is what we said. I don't even know where my paper is, but yeah, I believe that's what we said. But so I'm excited to be able to finally get my craft room in order. Once it's painted, I can start actually decorating the walls. We didn't want to necessarily put a lot on the walls until we painted. We were going to run into the same situation we ran in Prescott, where I got so many items on the walls that it was just a pain to actually take everything down and paint. So we learned from that, and we decided not to completely, or I should say I decided to not completely decorate until we painted. So real happy with the color. I think it looks really, really, really pretty, and I'm excited to actually decorate it. So we're gonna create a spring card today, and I right before I went live, I diligently was looking for my Distress watercolor pencils because I'm going to play with those a little bit today, and see if we can come up with something. So that's the plan. Hopefully you guys are good with that. I know it's not quite spring yet. I know a lot of us wish it was. I sure do. We had a big snow. We got about 6 to 8 inches, and we're thawing out. And this room actually is a little bit chilly. We have to replace the windows because the condensation that comes in through the windows is really bad in this room, and it gets icy inside the room. So that's one of the first things we want to do is replace the windows in this room, and eventually we'll replace the windows in all of the rooms, but we'll do it little by little. There's too many other things. Every room is almost getting a makeover. I mean, every room for the most part is getting painted, and the downstairs after this room is all completely painted, and then we have the upstairs suite. And then once I get everything decorated, I promise I'll do a tour for you, but I really wanted to kind of get it in order to share with you. It's a smaller space, so I'm having to kind of rethink my strategy, a strategy for crafting. I had to rethink that. So I promise I will get that done for you. But let's go ahead. Yeah, I know, Lords, but the house is getting paid off with the sale of the house in Prescott, so we're not going to have any mortgage payment. So we're going to have a little bit of money to do some things to this house. And the house needed some TLC. I mean, it's a farm, it's a goat farm. I think I shared that with you before. It's a goat farm, but we don't have goats. But it has the barn and it has all the fencing, and it definitely needed some work. But we're putting some TLC into it to make it our own, and getting used to the Montana living for sure. But definitely looking forward to the spring here in Montana. I think it'll be great. So let's go ahead and transition down and let's get to it. What do you guys think? Hey Cordelia, we missed you. We're just about ready to get started. So we will transition down and get her done. All right, let's see here. All right. I was playing with my OBS, which is the platform that I use for going live, and I noticed that the little corner here, do you see where my face is? Let me see if I can get it there. When I turn on the light, that's where it tends to be really bright. In fact, let's do it right now. So I thought maybe if I put my face there, it'll cover up the light, and I think that's doing all right. All right, so that's the reason I'm now on camera, not because I think I'm wonderful and I wanna be on camera, but hopefully that's cool. All right, so I guess no doing anything that I would normally do off camera. Well, I don't even know what that would be, but now that I'm on camera, I have to be careful. You know, I don't know, to not take off all my clothes. I don't know. Not that I would do that anyway, but I'm on camera now, so I got to be careful. All right, so the plan today is to create texture. And what better way to create texture than using these texture fades? I know you guys are familiar with these, right? These are the Tim Holtz embossing folders 3D. And I have a few of these. Eventually I want to kind of get more of these and replace them with some of the regular 3D or some of the regular embossing folders, because these are fantastic. And then I pulled out a die that I don't even know where I got, so hopefully you guys don't ask me, because I thought it might be fun to kind of create a framed basket. So when I made breakfast this morning, and when I was throwing out the egg carton, I thought, wow, that would be a really great basket. So I cut out the flat part of the egg carton, and I was right, it's fantastic for a basket, especially when you use the 3D. Part of it's a little bit flat because I ended up putting it through with a die, and I'll show you that actually right now. Right now, it's because I wanted to kind of see what it would look like if I actually had a basket, and it looked all right. The egg carton kind of fell apart a little bit because the die was a little too thin, but it did work. But I think if I'm using an egg carton, the better option was to just create my own basket. So let me show you what I did. So this is the basket that I created out of the egg carton. And I did it using this texture fade here. The texture is awesome. It really is. But I used it creating the texture fade, and then I used scattered straw to kind of paint it. And I think I'm gonna try to do a better job because I wanted to use the pencils, but I couldn't find them, but I found them now. So we'll see if we can maybe do a better job with this. And I have a little bit of this left, so maybe we can cut out another basket. But that was the plan, was to create a kind of a textured basket and create a spring card. So hopefully that works for everybody. All right, so let's go ahead and create another basket. So the first thing I did, of course, was just kind of cut this out. Let's see here. And I actually pulled up on the internet a template of a basket because I wanted to kind of figure out the shape. And the shape is as you would expect it. It's a little bit round at the bottom, right? So let's see. So this is going to be a tattered basket apparently. Oh, see, it does fall apart. It is an egg carton. All right, so there's that. That's a little wonky. Let's see if we can do a better job. All right. And then it has, you know, the layering, or not the layering, but the indentation, I guess is what I want to say. All right, so there's that kind of, right? Let's see if we can do a better job. And just frame it as you go along. I mean, cut yourself out a nice piece where you can kind of trim away. There's no right or wrong. And then figure out how tall you want it. So, I don't know, something like about right here. And I would use my paper trimmer, but I'd be afraid that my carton would fall apart. So that's about right, I guess. And then that gives me just a little bit of extra to go on top. And let's see if we can cut that out. Okay, and then we'll just kind of round this. It's not going to be perfect. It's going to be a little wonky, but I'm okay with that. Hopefully y'all are okay with that. It's going to be kind of a distressed, tattered basket, which is what I like. All right. And then this will just go right on top there. So a little bit smaller than that one, but you guys get the idea, right? And then from here, let's see if I can get... I used scattered straw is what I used. So I just basically rubbed it. Now if you caught my last live, I made that Alice in Wonderland little book. Do you guys remember that? And I said I would share with you who that was for. You guys interested in knowing who I made it for? I'm looking for my my water brush, which was here. Don't know where it's at now. So I just wanted to kind of paint this in. I didn't do this with the last one because I couldn't find my crayons, and that's really what I wanted to use. I ended up using this marker that I have that I used to use when I was journaling, Faber-Castell artist pen, and it worked pretty well. I mean, it gave good brown outlines, but this is what I did with this. So yeah, so the Alice in Wonderland was made for someone that you guys had seen me talk about wanting to get the new distress color, right? What's Tim's new distress color? His new color? Amber, burnt charcoal, what was it, you guys? But in any case, I said I hadn't bought it yet. And Robin actually texted me saying she was going to gift it to me. And I thought that was just so sweet of her. So I decided to reciprocate the kindness and make Robin something. So yeah, the Alice in Wonderland was for Robin, y'all, just reciprocating the kindness. Um, so it is en route. I know that she already got it because she messaged me and let me know that. But that's who I made that for, just as a token of my appreciation. And you guys know that usually I don't keep what I make, so it worked out great. Scorched timber. Thanks, Debbie. So yeah, so I'm excited to be getting that. I haven't got it yet, but I'm excited about getting it. But I thought that was just very nice of Robin to do that for me. And she didn't expect anything in return. I mean, you know, whenever we give something, we never do. But I just wanted to share and show my appreciation for her thinking of me. So thank you, Robin. All right, so let's see here. So that's just kind of adding some color to the basket. And then I thought I would try my watercolors to give it some, not my watercolors, my water pencils, to give it some outline. So I don't know if I'm going to get the new colors of the watercolors. To be honest with you, I don't use these pencils enough, so I probably won't be getting them. But I do like them, and I do want to use them more. I just don't use them enough to qualify me investing in more. All right, so just going to give it some outline here. And what I liked about these, and I knew it would be, it's a little bit more subtle than that ink. But I just wanted to do some outline on, you know, where the basket weave kind of breaks. And I'm going to do a little bit of shadowing. But that was the idea around the watercolor pencils. All right. And then let's just get a little color and see if we can maybe blend this a little bit. This is the first time I'm doing this, so we're going to see how it works. Let's see. Let's see if we can get a little bit more color out of this. The egg carton has some great texture, but you know, it is an egg carton and I don't want to saturate it too much for the fear that it will fall apart. So I am being careful not to add a lot of water, but it is giving it some nice shading, right? I would put my heating tool to it, but I don't quite know where it's at right now. So that was my reason for making this one ahead of time, because I knew I didn't have all my tools. Now I'm just getting my walnut stain and adding it to give it an outline like that. And then let's just do the same thing with this one. I want this to be a little bit darker. This is going to be the top rim part. All right. So yeah, there's a lot of things around the house that you guys can use for texture. So just be mindful of that. You know, if you see something, if you see something that has texture, you know, maybe it's something you can use in your crafting. All right, this looks more like a bowl than a basket, but that's okay. You guys get the idea. Here. All right. And then I'm just gluing this top part here just to give it the rim. And then there's your basket. Pretty good, right? Just using it out of an egg carton. So that one's a little bit bigger. That has a little bit more definition. This one's a little bit more subtle. But yeah, so just using an egg carton and running it through my embossing folder. There you go. Now I did, like I said, I did cut this through a die after I had run my egg carton through the texture fade, but it kind of tore it up a little bit. So I thought in order to use this, I'm going to back this a little bit. So I'm going to actually put this onto cardstock just to give it a little bit more strength. Because honestly, I think if I tried to color it, I think it would fall apart. So let me just do that. And then we'll let it die. Or dry. We'll let it die. The dye will dry. All right, so there you go. Now, if you don't have egg cartons, which maybe you don't need eggs, right? It's possible. You can certainly cut out just dies, you know, little baskets with a die. And I have some around here. I'm sure we'll run into them somewhere. But you know, you don't have to use an egg carton. I was just experimenting, and I wanted to see if it would work, and it did. I mean, it definitely gave it some texture. I mean, I really like the color as well. If you don't want to even color it, you can just go natural, which I think it looks really good as well. Maybe just put a little outline, you know, because I think that is a great color for a basket. Not adding any color at all. But certainly something to think about. All right, so once you have your basket, this is where I wanted to, oh, there's a little basket. So you can, you know, run your, what I would recommend is if you are going to run your dies, your die cuts through texture fades or any embossing folders, die cut it first, because when you run it through the texture fade, it will smash it. So you don't want to smash your texture when you run your die through. So do the die first and then run the actual image or the die through the embossing folder. All right. So yeah, so that works as well. And that's a great color for a basket too, I think. All right, so I've got a few baskets here that we can play with. And let's see, I went ahead and I cut out some paper. Now this is the die that I shared with you earlier, which I don't know where I got it, to be honest with you, but it's just a frame die that I thought was really pretty. And then I'm just going to do some layering here. And then what I thought I would do is just kind of place this. I want it to go behind though, so I'll have to probably do some pop-ups. But that's what I was thinking of, something like that. And then I have this Spellbinders flower dies. They're really small, and I cut out several of them, so I thought I would maybe kind of fill those with the basket. All right, so let's see if we can get this done. All right, so I know I want this kind of like this, and I want it to be attached. So let me see if I can figure out exactly where it's going to be attached. Probably the edges, right? So, and then probably the bottom here. Something like that. And we'll just give it a minute to dry. Now, because the egg carton basket, has some depth to it, I'm going to probably need to use pop-ups. So let's see. Oh, I like that. Let's see if we can straighten it out though. It's pretty, right? And then we'll put a little bit of glue here. Let that dry a minute. All right. I always feel like a surgeon when I'm putting together some of these cards, because it's like, okay, you know, get your tool and sew this and glue this, and there's always such little small pieces. But some of these cards that we put together can be so intricate. And I know I hadn't used dies in a while, so I thought it was about time. All right, so what do you guys think about the egg carton? Have you ever tried anything like that? And if not particularly the egg carton, what kind of household items have you tried to craft with that aren't traditional crafting items? Just curious. You know, I know that I've seen bubble wrap. People use bubble wrap before to get texture. I haven't quite seen people use egg cartons, so that was kind of a new idea for me. But just curious, what kind of things do you guys use? All right, so let's go ahead and get my pop-up here. And I'm going to try to strategically put it behind pieces, obviously, that don't show. Hi, Melody. All right, so I'm going to just add some of these foam dots here. See there. So as you can see, I'm kind of trying to put them behind the flowers. So did any of you guys buy the new Tim Holtz heart flower stamps? I didn't. I don't make a lot of Valentine's Day cards. And I already have some heart stamps, so I didn't invest in it. But there are some really pretty ones. Just curious if any of you guys actually bought the set. And if so, how did you like it? Okay. Cordelia has not. Do you make very many Valentine's Day cards, Cordelia? I mean, even, I don't make a lot of Easter cards either, but I make spring cards. Melody, you did. Melody, you are a true consumer when it comes to Tim Holtz stuff. You always get his stuff. Good for you. But, you know, as long as you use it, that's really the key. We don't want to just buy it and not use it, right? All right, I think that's pretty good. Oh, I should have added some glue behind that. Let's see. Yeah, Lords, I'm with you. That's kind of the approach I took as well. So I did not invest in the new stamp set. All right, so I'm just gonna glue this basket down. Everything I use. Yeah, I've been more particular about what I buy recently. All right, so I think that's pretty good. I have these foam dots, placed strategically behind. Put one right there behind flowers or leaves that aren't showing, right? Because I didn't want the foam dot to show through. Not a heart person. Yeah, Robin, I hear you. That's good. I think that's good. All right, so that's not gonna go anywhere. I think we're in good shape. So now that I have my frame and my basket, we can either start, let's see, we can start to put the flowers in, or we can finish the layering. How do you have so many extra things, Lords? You have to come up with a better system to track your inventory, girl. But yeah, if you have extras and I don't have them, certainly we can do some sort of a swap. Alright. Now this is just a sander I got a while ago. It looks like I need to probably replace this, but I got it when I had a pedicure. And this is that, this is the paper that has the craft in the background, so it sands pretty well. Melody, did you invest in the Better Press Press? I didn't invest in that. I just thought that was just one more tool I didn't need to invest in. But if you did, it sounds like you did. How do you like it? So, and then I don't know why, I'm just adding some walnut stain to this, just to make it look a little bit more distressed, right? Okay, and then get all my dusty. So that'll go like that, I think. And then this will go right here. What do you guys think? Do you guys do a lot of layering? Melody says she finished her Alice in Wonderland project. So Melody, I'd love to see pictures of it. Put it in the, put pictures on the Facebook group that we have for us. So if you're part of my subscription patrons, Backstage Pass or the Crafting membership, we have a exclusive Facebook page that I just put together. So there's still time for you guys to join as a crafty Patreon over on my website. It's only $5 a month, and that will give you the kit of the month. Every month it gets mailed to you, and then you get behind the scenes, of course. Or if you want to be a Backstage Pass holder, like many of you are, that will give you access. I was just reading comments. That will give you access to all of my digitals, as they come out, of course, than any of the past ones. So that's nice. All right. I'm wondering. Let's see. I am looking for my distresser. There it is. Looking for this little thing here. So Debbie's has the better press as well. Yeah, I'm just trying to be a little bit more thoughtful about any new tools that I get. And I saw that the better press, you know, is a whole little system. So I don't even use my embossing folders enough, but I like the look. So I had to really question myself if the better press was something I need to invest in. And so far it's been no. Alright, so this will go like this. And then I think I'm going to put a couple of brads here. So I'm going to, let's see here, add my brads to the white. I think they'll stand out a little bit more if I add them to the white. I should have thought this through a little bit more though, because I've got this here. See, I punched without thinking. All right. I wonder how it would look if I just put two. Let me see. Let's start out with two and see how it looks. Yeah, that Tim Holtz log, I still haven't gone out there and looked at it, you guys. I know I need to. I've never, and I don't know how, but I've never bought duplicates before. I guess I have a real good grasp of what I have. Yeah, I heard that the Tim Holtz index is pretty good. I just for whatever reason, I just didn't, I just haven't used it. All right, so I don't know. We'll think about that. So I've got two here. I guess I could, if I lift that up, I could put another one, but we'll see. We'll just see how that works. All right, so this is what I have so far, guys. What do you guys think? Pretty good, right? So this does fall into our theme for the month of yellow. And then we're going to be working with flowers. So this definitely falls into the theme. Hopefully you guys are all working on your cards for the month. And then, of course, we'll pick a day in March to share cards. I've already started getting some of the cards. So thank you for those that have already sent those in. It's always fun to share some of your work and kind of look at them and see what you've done. All right. So let's see. Okay, so now these flowers. Now here's the deal. I love layered flowers, but boy, they take a long time to cut. You know, because of course you want different colors and oh my goodness, they take a long time. The theme is yellow and flowers. Miss Cordelia. Spring yellow. Okay, sorry. Melody, thank you. Spring yellow. I guess I just think of flowers for spring. Spring yellow. Yeah, so it doesn't have to be flowers. Excuse me. Thanks for keeping me honest there, guys. Um, Spring yellow. I know. I have it written down too, but I had to clean off my desk when my husband started painting, so I don't have it. I remembered the yellow though. But spring yellow. So that I'm actually glad that it's not just flowers, because that gives me more options to craft with. Your craft roulette card will be perfect. What were the parameters, Cordelia? Just curious. Inquiring minds want to know. Boy, hasn't that channel grown, Craft Roulette? Whew, good for Mary. Once I get my craft room back in order, maybe I'll reach out to her and I'll see if I can be a guest again. All right. So just kind of organizing my colors here, and then we'll start putting them together. So you gotta poke out all these little bobs and bits and bobs, and whew. See, this is the type of thing that you do just one afternoon. You just sit down and you die cut, because you want, you know, different colors. Boy, those would be perfect raindrops. All right, let's see here. So I've got purple. Maybe we should put the flowers together first. Let's see, purple. How am I going to do this? And then let's see how these go together. I think they go like this, and then this one. Yep, okay, so this will go here. All right. Okay. So Melody, you bought your hot foil system 2 years ago and still haven't used it? Shame on you, Melody. We can't waste our money like that, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, not only is it money, but space too. You know, I know some of us are limited with our spaces, you know, so we have to be strategic with what we buy. All right, so these are layered. Pretty, huh? What do you guys think? So we'll put together a few flowers here, and then we'll put them on the card. This is the first time I've actually used this die as well, so I'm one to talk, right? All right, so let's see. I think this one goes next. We'll use yellow maybe. Yeah, some of the tools out there are nice to haves, but you know, I really I really do think about my big purchases, not just because I end up putting things away and not using them, like you, Melody. You know, we buy something with good intentions, and then they go out the door. All right, so got that. I need, trying to figure out which one is next. I think next is this one right here. Looking at my colors. Hey, Gloria. All right. Should we go with pink maybe? Why not? Why not? You know, in crafting land, our flowers can be any color they want. Well, that's kind of interesting. So what if we offset the petal? So what if it wasn't directly on the flower? I mean, that would be pretty too. I mean, you can. I guess I'll keep consistent on this, but that'd be cool. You need to stick with Tim. Yeah, more and more I tend to just buy from his line as well. But if there's something that I truly want, like there's a couple, what do I want? There was, uh, a punch that I think I want to get. I've been kind of waiting though. But yeah, I don't frivolously buy anymore. I really think about it. Got an itch on my nose. All right. Okay, so there's that one. And on this, I'm just putting the glue right in the middle. So my petals are still loose. All right, so let's see. I'm thinking I want to do the corners like that. What do you guys think of that? And then I probably want to do some flowers coming out, but I don't know if these are too big. I think they're kind of too big actually. So I think I might have to find different flowers for this, which is going to require more die cutting, but we'll think about that in a minute. All right, I like the offset of the colors on this, so let's do that. I'll add that there. And like I said, I only put glue in the middle, so if I wanted to, I could lift my petals a little bit. See, this is where I feel like a doctor with my little instruments, right? Cut flowers in half. I could do that. Yeah, that's a good idea. All right, so that will go there. And I'm just lifting up the top petals. All right. So here's what we've got so far. It's pretty, huh? Maybe I'll put like a little gem or something in the middle too. I don't know yet. Dental tool, yes, for sure. All right. So Gloria said to cut the flowers in half. I could definitely do that. Or I could just not layer them, right? I can just put the different flowers like this. I'm just kind of playing right now. Right? Maybe don't layer them. And then maybe just layer some falling down. I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud here. Maybe don't do the full-on layer. Maybe just a couple of layers. So still thinking. It looks like a wishing well, does it? Kinda, huh? Yes, Harbor Freight Melody is where I got those tools. Alright, so here is my leaf. And we can just stick the leaf, you know, right here somewhere. Yeah, Cordelia, that's what I was thinking too, is maybe just not do the layers because it gets too difficult to stick behind behind the basket. I don't know how many leaves I actually cut. Let's see. Yeah, if it was a wishing well, Jim, I agree. I would not be putting flowers. But I think we're going to stick with the flower theme. Ordinarily, I follow Jim's lead, but I think I'm going to stick with the floral theme. Let's see. All right. So this card, since it's part of our theme, will go to somebody. So I will put this one aside to give to one of you all that participate in the card exchange. So if you like this card, definitely participate in the card exchange because it could be yours. I might make a couple of them, so we'll see. But yeah, this will be one of the cards in the exchange. Okay, so just making some leaves here. Let's see. The wishing well got filled with snow and flower. Yeah, sure. Why not? Anything is possible, right? Especially when you're making cards. Anything's possible. Alright, so let's see. It's pretty good, I guess. See, I'm changing my mind where I want my leaf to go. Oh boy. It's nothing worse than, you know, sticking it down and then deciding, no, I don't like it there. I'll stick it right there. Let's offset it a little bit. Sometimes I get, oh man. I have to tell myself, Monica, it's just a card. It doesn't, you don't have to rethink where things go. I'm sure it looked good I kind of wanted to offset a little bit though. Okay, come on, let's try this again. All right, I'm gonna stick with that. Okay. And I have another leaf I'll put down here as well, but let's see. We can make up whatever story we want for sure. Oh, was it Melody or Lords? I just said to remind me to tell you about my Tim Holtz story. So have I ever shared with you guys the story of how I met Tim Holtz the very first time? I met him a few times because when I lived in Prescott, I would run into him sometimes at the vintage markets. But did I ever share with you guys the story of the first time I met him? And if not, would you guys be interested in hearing it as I craft? Let's see. Because I would be happy to share it with you. Alright, let's see. Okay. So I think I'm going to do that whole offset thing. You want to hear it? So, okay, yeah, I'll be happy to share it with you. So, let me think. It was when I lived in Phoenix, and he was obviously still in Prescott. And, you know, I would go antiquing, and my husband was a good sport. He would go with me. And we were at one of the downtown, not real downtown, but one of the thrift shops, one of the antique shops. And we were in walking around, just checking things out. And the store had a couple of rooms. And and this is when my husband didn't know what Mario or Tim looked like, or even Paula, because Paula was with him at the time. So my husband was looking in another room, and I was in the main room. And Tim comes walking out, and my husband was out of the room at that time, and he said, I'm like, oh my God, that's Tim Holtz. And Scott's like, it is? And then Mario comes walking out, and I'm like, oh, and there's Mario. And Scott's like, oh, I just saw this Mario, this guy in the other room, and I didn't even know it was Mario. And I'm like, yeah. And then I saw Paula, and I'm like, oh boy. And the clerk at the store, she must not have been a crafter, because she's like, is Tim Holtz somebody famous? And I'm like, well, he is in my book. And I think he must have heard me saying, oh my God, there's Tim Holtz, and there's Paula, and there's Mario, because he started smiling. And I'm like, hi, Tim. And he's like, hey, how's it going? And I'm like, good. And I'm like, and we started chit-chatting, and I said, you know, I was there looking for items to stage my pictures, you know, vintage items. And Paula's like, oh yeah, you know, it's always good to find vintage items to stage your photos and whatnot. And I'm like, can I get a picture? And he's like, sure. And I took a picture. I don't even know where they are. I know where my Tim picture is, but I took a picture with Tim and I. And then I took a picture with Paula, and Paula's like, oh, you don't want a picture of me? And I'm like, I sure do. I'm like, come on. So we were all taking pictures. And I bought, they were very nice. And they started talking about staging photos and the kind of things that they use and whatnot. And the lighting, you know, for the background. And I bought this vintage piece that I actually store my, washi tape in. And, you know, I should have had him sign it, but I didn't. But no big deal. You know, I really tried not to be too intrusive. And that's how I was when I was in Prescott. I didn't, you know, whenever I would see him, I would say, hey, Tim, how's it going? And he'd say, good, good, you know. but I didn't get to be. I wasn't too intrusive just because, you know, they're people, and I don't want to be one of those people that are like, oh my god, you know. Um, but yeah, they were very nice, and like I said, I met Paula and I met Mario. Um, and I would see them not so much around town. I don't know if they got out so much around town in Prescott. Maybe they did. I don't know. But I only really saw them at the vintage events, um, which was fine, you know. And if I saw him, I would say hi, uh, but definitely try to be respectful. Um, you know, I just think about, especially when he's at events, everybody wants to take pictures with him, and you know, when I caught him on his own time, you know, like I said, that was his own time. I really didn't want to be intrusive. So that's my Tim Holtz story. All right. Yeah, he doesn't get out too much now, Paula. I think because of his heart situation, you know, the traveling probably isn't great for him. Um, but he does all the lives, you know, with the way that everything's changed. You don't have to go to the physical events anymore to get demonstrations and whatnot. Um, but I get it. I get it. Yeah, when I first went to Creativation, my very first time, it's because I wanted to see him and see his demos, and it was a good experience. I haven't gone to another Creativation since. I know Debbie goes, but I just haven't. I haven't gone um, since the one in Phoenix. That was the one and only one that I went to. Yeah, yeah, it is exciting to see him. Um, I tried to be, like I said, I tried to be respectful because I didn't want to, you know, be one of those people that just is annoying and doesn't give him space. I mean, because he's just a regular person, just like you and I. You like the orange and the purple? Yeah, I was just going to do that, Jim. See? Jim and I are typically on the same page. And I'm offsetting the flowers a little bit this time. I'm not doing the full layering. I've done a couple of layering, but I'm just adding flowers while we chit chat. The one thing I do find though when I am putting flowers together, I like to use the same type of paper. So this paper that I'm using is, it has the craft on the back, and it's kind of the distress paper, because I just think it looks better when you have the same type of paper. Make that one pop up a little bit. Oh, that's kind of interesting. So because I did just the one on top of the other, look at how it kind of makes a 3D effect there. Let's see if maybe we can pop that. There you go. Pop that up a little bit. And I'm going to put some more, I guess. Let's see. Gina K, yeah. Gina, Gina is very creative. I watch her sometimes. So now I'm not doing the, I might actually do a layer there. I'm not sure how high up on the basket I'm gonna go. I'm just putting flowers here. And then just kind of bringing it up a little bit. I mean, I probably shouldn't do too many flowers, right? Let's see. I'm just filling the basket. That might be enough. Maybe I'll put, I don't know. What do you guys think? Does it need more flowers, or do you think that's good? I want to put some leaves in there too. I think I'll have to cut out some more leaves. What do you guys think? Do you think that's enough flowers? Jim, what do you think? What is your opinion, sir? I am going to add a sentiment, yes. I think it's going to go right here. So I know I want to add some leaves, so I might have to come in after the fact and do more leaves. Let's see. That was my last leaf, so I'll have to cut out some more leaves. But let me check out my sentiment situation. Let's see here. I might. Here are these remnant rubs. These darn remnant rubs. You know how I like my remnant rubs, you guys. I might use some of these because I like to. Let's see. Just as a little background, maybe. Let's see. I love using remnant rubs. I have these kind of floral ones, but I don't know where they're at. That's typically the story of my life. Is I know I have something, but I don't know where it's at. Alright. So just a little added extra. Alright. And then let's see. Yes, Jim, I have used, in fact, those are the ones that I have, are the 49 and Market. They have some great ones. In fact, I see, gosh, what is her name? She's Greek. I see her all the time on Instagram using them. So I definitely want to get some more of those. Collect beautiful moments. That'll do it. That'll do it. All right. Yeah, 49 and Market has some beautiful paper. I really like them as well. Okay, so we are almost done with this card, you guys. What do you guys think? Not my normal style, but I still think it checks the vintage box, right? Let's see. Just adding a little bit of glue to my stickers to make sure they stick. Not Yana. She has that long. I know who Yana is because Yana is part of Spellbinders. But Vicky something. I watch her use the Rub It Rubs a lot. I can't remember her last name though, but she's Greek. She actually is the one that kind of got me into doing art journals. I think I've shared with you my art journals before. Maybe we'll do an art journal page one time. But yeah, she's the one who kind of got me into art journaling. Collect beautiful moments. Make that a little wonky, what do you think? A little wonky. Collect beautiful moments. And then if I want to put some more numbers, I can, because I like adding numbers. Let's do maybe right here. No, maybe right here. Well, you know what we should have done is we should have put a pink tag. Hold on a second. I have an idea. Hold that thought. Oh boy, but I don't know where they're at. Let's see. Let me see if I can find it. Don't you just love how I just get up and walk away? Yes, Vicky P. Robin, that's exactly who I'm thinking of. All right, so this is what I had to get up and get. So these are great for embellishments as well. So let's figure out what we're gonna do here. And maybe we'll do that'll work. That'll work. How tall is my craft room? Not real tall, Jim, to be honest with you. I don't know the measurements, but we had to actually, it's kind of a cabin house. And upstairs, my husband's kind of tall, but he had to take down, or not had to, we took down some of the fans that, just because whenever we would stretch or get dressed, we were almost hitting them. But yeah, not real tall. Definitely not cathedral or anything like that. I'm just short, Jim. That's why the room looks tall. All right, so I think I like that. And then I always like to have an offset. What do you guys think? Did I go overboard with the pink ticket? Or was it a good addition? Just trying to line it up. I should have put vintage, my distress ink on it though. All right, and then this one, let's see. I don't want to put it at the bottom. I think that would be too obvious. Maybe on the side. Maybe not at all. Oh, I like it there actually. Just kind of tuck it a little bit, huh? What do you guys think? Yay, nay? Monica, you're insane. You need to stop while you're ahead. Thank you, Jim. Sometimes it's hard for me to stop, but I like these pink little tickets. They are the perfect little embellishment. All right, so let's just kind of stick this under here. So it's not like in your face, right? But it still kind of gives you an offset. I like it. All right, I think that'll do it, guys. So let's kind of look at what we did here. So we started out, what do you guys think? Gosh, it's very busy with the flowers, but I like it. But we started out with the basket, and like I said, I made in the corner of their frame. Yeah, but I didn't want it to stand out like this one. I kind of wanted to hide it. Thanks, Robin. Yeah, that's kind of why I chose here. I kind of wanted to just tuck it. But yeah, so we started out with the egg carton, and I used the texture fades to create the basket weave, to create the little baskets. And then we kind of shaped the basket into a basket type. If you don't have a basket, you can create your own, but certainly if you have a basket die, you can do that as well. And then I used this frame, and I'll try to figure out where I got it because I can't remember. But I use this frame, and it's very intricate. I like it. I like how it has these little dots here. I used it to kind of frame the card, and then I had 3 layers, and then the frame, and then the basket. And then we just kind of embellished it with flowers, just different colored flowers. When I added the flowers, I did just add glue to the middle, so I could come back here and, you know, give our flowers a little boost. And then if you wanted to, you could certainly, you know, add little embellishments in the middle here. If I can find my little gems, maybe I will. I don't know where my gems are though. But it's not necessary. But you certainly could. Oh, you know what? It always starts with you know what, right? Maybe not. Let's see. Yeah, no, it's not going to happen. All right, I thought I had these little gems, but I don't know where they're at. All right, but that's it. That's all I have. Looks like spellbinders. The flowers definitely are spellbinders, Melody, and I will link this. The frame I don't think is spellbinders though. I could be wrong though, but yeah, these little flowers are spellbinders. But I'll see if I can figure it out. It's a very pretty frame. But that's all I got. So I hope you guys liked this week's card. I don't typically do these types of cards for us, but I thought it was appropriate, being that, you know, spring is hopefully just around the corner. I sure hope so, because this cold weather is for the birds. I'm gonna cut out a few more leaves, I think, and just add them around. I want to add another leaf here And then I want to add some green in here as well. And then I'll just mount it onto a card. And I will put it aside for some person that participates in my card exchange. So if you haven't gotten your card to me yet, cover up this here. Here's somebody that's gotten me a card. P.O. Box 477, Reed Point, 59069. And our theme is Yellow Spring. So kind of put on your spring thinking caps and see if you guys can come up with a design, and then we'll share them. We'll share our cards sometime next month. All right, y'all. Thanks for hanging out with me, and we shall see you next Sunday.